Flicks, Daddy.
I'm sorry, I can't. It's too powerful.
Do it.
Are you sure?
Flex.
Okay. It wouldn't be a bulk without food, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're gonna be going grocery shopping. I have 2 helpers that are gonna be joining me on this journey. We are going to be on quite an adventure because 2 kids of this age keep you on your toes. I gotta get in, get out, get the food. Wish me luck. And in any situation such as this, it's good to prepare. So we brought a list along with us so we know exactly what to get. And that makes it very helpful because if you don't, sometimes you go into the grocery store, you're not exactly sure what to grab. You end up with a whole bunch of stuff, maybe things you didn't need, and also you end up spending a little bit more money than you originally planned on. So we're gonna get exactly what's on the list, get in, get out, get our groceries, and then get to eating. Yeah. The shopping experience is over. We got everything we needed. We kept it very simple, and we're gonna be using these simple ingredients for hundreds of different recipes. That's why they come in such handy, not to mention it's relatively priced, so you can get a lot of this food for not very much money, which is amazing. And if you want to amp up the difficulty level, try doing all of this with 2 kids, 3 years and under. It makes things a lot more exciting. You stay on your toes, and I think I burnt quite a few calories in the process just trying to keep track of them. So let's go home, let's go over this food, and more importantly, let's consume some of this food because I'm on a bulk and I need all the calories that I can get. Yeah. We're back from our food haul and we got all kinds of delicious stuff, 10 specifically. Now we could have gotten much more, but we like to keep it simple, and these 10 foods are really gonna be our base throughout the entire bulking plan. So we may do a little bit more, but these are gonna be the ones that we come to time and time again. And if you're on Team Hudson, you know I've got quite a bit of work to do and I need all the help I can get. So with these foods, that's gonna help me out big time. My goal here is to have 1,000 calories a meal, and I'm gonna be trying to have about 4 meals a day. It's gonna be breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a post-workout shake. So let's go over some of these foods we purchased and what they're going to be useful for. First, we've got oats. It's a classic. It's very inexpensive, and we're gonna be using this not only for breakfast, but also for our post-workout shakes. And for the breakfast, what we're gonna be combining with the oats is the milk. I'm gonna be having whole milk because there's a little bit more calories, a little bit more additional fat, and pretty fortunate because nowadays you have a lot of options. So I went ahead and I got the lactose-free lower sugar option, which is great because I wanna try to keep my sugars as low as possible, even though I'm going up in the calories. I'm gonna be having this with my breakfast and my shakes. Next, we have our protein. We're also gonna be adding this to our morning oatmeals and our shakes as well. Sometimes it can be a little bit hard to bump all those macros up. Macros, of course, being protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Sometimes you can have a little bit of an issue with the protein. So by supplementing some protein into your diet, that just helps a little bit more. It's definitely one of the Buff Dude staples. Next, we're gonna be having a fruit, and that is gonna be bananas. I got this whole thing, which is organic, for only 25 cents. An amazing way to get some additional carbohydrates. I like to have it post-workout, very inexpensive. You can't go wrong. Another inexpensive staple of the Buff Dude's diet is eggs. This is gonna be packed with protein, fats. We're gonna be using it for breakfast, lunch, all kinds of different meals depending on what you wanna make. They're a go-to, you can't go wrong. And they're another calorie-dense food, which is why we love eggs. Lean ground beef. Normally we consume a lot of chicken, but as we're trying to pack on the pounds, I'm gonna be having a little bit more beef in my diet. This one contains some fats, but not too much because you can go overboard pretty easily. But regardless, it has just enough to pack on a little bit more calories throughout the day. Of course, proteins and carbohydrates have 4 calories for every gram, whereas fat has 9 calories for every gram. So the little bit adds up, and that's gonna help me to hit my daily calorie goal. I'm gonna primarily be using the ground beef for lunches and dinners, gonna be making some hamburgers, gonna be adding it in with the rice. There's a lot of different options there. And sticking with the beef theme, now we have some steak. This is ribeye, a relatively small amount here, as you can see, a little bit smaller than my hand, and it's got 500 calories. So nice as the weather gets into the spring and summer, gonna be able to barbecue it, and I'm gonna be able to get those calories into my system. Yeah. Next up on the list is a fish, and that's gonna be salmon. High in protein, got a lot of healthy fats. This one is gonna be a staple throughout the next couple months. We're moving back to some carbohydrates with sweet potatoes, another very inexpensive vegetable. I can make chips with them. I can have them alongside my steak. Rice and eggs. There's a lot of different ways to use these bad boys. You can do it in the oven, you can do it in the microwave, you can do it on the barbecue. I'm gonna be consuming a lot of these ones. I use them either breakfast, lunch, or dinner anytime I'm in the mood, and I'm almost always in the mood for sweet potatoes. Last but certainly not least on the list is rice. This one is gonna be a carbohydrate-based food. Awesome price on this one. You can get a lot of bang for your buck. I got this massive container for just about 10 bucks. As you can see, I've used quite a bit because this is actually an older bag, but you can keep it in your pantry for a really long time. You come back to it time and time again. You can use it for many different recipes. I'm gonna be doing it primarily lunch and dinners to supplement with my steak, my salmon. This one, like the other 9 on the list, are always coming in handy. So that wraps up the 10 bulking foods that we recommend. Let us know if you have any that you go to time and time again. But in the meantime, now I wanna make a meal using some of these ingredients, show you what it's capable of. I'm gonna be making a 1,000-calorie meal. This is gonna be oats, milk, and protein. And you're gonna see through the duration of this bulking journey, we're gonna be using this for a lot of our breakfasts. It's gonna be a staple, which is nice because it's very easy. Almost anyone has access to these 3 ingredients, and it's relatively cheap. So here we go, we're getting started with breakfast. It's a whole lot of calories. It's gonna be very filling. Let's get this breakfast made, eaten, and out of the way. 2 cups milk, 1 cup oats, 1 35-gram scoop of protein, and if you'd like, you can supplement it with some almonds. I did 1/4 cup, and I did almost 1 full cup of blackberries. That brings my calorie count for breakfast almost to 1,000, and that's gonna try to be the rule of thumb here, is to have 1,000 calories for every single meal I consume. It makes it easier for me, and easy is good, because with a limited amount of time, you want it simple, you want it easy, and you don't really wanna have to think about it. And thankfully, doing it this way, I don't. 405 for 1 rep. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna keep it. It's gonna be interesting because next episode, me and Brian are gonna be doing it together. We're gonna be doing squats, bench press, deadlifts, and overhead press. We're gonna see where we're at because it's gonna be really exciting once this is all over with to see where we end up. Just like tracking our body compositions and weights, it's also good to track the weights that you're lifting so that as you continue to go heavier, you continue to be inspired, because having that motivation is where it's all at. It's usually a lot of fun in the beginning to start the bulk, but as with anything, after the first week or 2, your excitement maybe isn't where it was in the beginning, so it's always good to try to keep ways to make it exciting. Look for the 1 rep max video next, and after that, Brandon's gonna be showing you what it's like for him to lean bulk for a full day, all his meals, all his calories and macros. I'm excited about that. Maybe I'll use what's worked for Brandon and then give it a little Hudson spin on it. So hope you're enjoying the series. See you next time for the Incredible Bulk Bros. Stay buff.